Padre Pio, whose baptismal name was Francesco Forgione, is a widely revered spiritual figure, and his prophecy had a significant impact on the whole world. Born in Italy in 1887, he lived until 1968 and was a member of the Capuchin religious order. Known as Padre Pio, a name that means pious father in Italian, he is venerated as a saint in the Catholic Church. At the age of 15, Padre Pio joined the Capuchin order and spent most of his life in the monastery of San Giovanni Rotondo. In 1918, he experienced an extraordinary phenomenon. The marks of Jesus Christ's wounds appeared on his body, known as stigmata. This event attracted the attention of the Catholic Church, which conducted an investigation into the case. Despite initial doubts, Padre Pio gained great fame during his lifetime. Padre Pio's dedication to the faith, his intense prayer life, and the countless reports of healings and miracles attributed to his intercession further strengthened his reputation. He became a figure of devotion for millions of faithful and was canonized by Pope John Paul II in 2002. His spiritual legacy continues to inspire and console people around the world. In San Giovanni Rotondo, Padre Pio was visited by countless people, attracted by his reputation for holiness and his spiritual gifts. Demonstrating his deep compassion and commitment to the well-being of others, he founded a hospital next to the monastery, Casa Salievo della Sofferenza, which continues to offer health care to those in need to this day. Even after his death, Padre Pio maintained his worldwide influence and admiration. His impact was so profound that the Catholic Church officially recognized him, with Pope John Paul II beatifying him in 1999 and canonizing him in 2002. He thus became a venerated saint whose spiritual legacy lives on. Today, special relics related to Padre Pio are preserved in a shrine near the convent of San Giovanni Rotondo. This site has become an important pilgrimage destination where devotees from all over the world come to pay homage to the saint, seeking inspiration and spiritual comfort in his memory. The shrine is an ongoing testimony to the deep faith and devotion that Padre Pio inspired and continues to inspire in millions of faithful. Throughout his life, Padre Pio was known for making countless predictions, some meticulously recorded and others passed down through oral tradition. Among his most intriguing and talked-about prophecies is the one about the 3 days of darkness. This revelation has aroused intense curiosity among the faithful and scholars of his works. According to Padre Pio's prophecy, there will be a period of 3 days and nights in which a deep darkness will cover the entire earth. During this time, the only source of light available will come from specially blessed candles made of beeswax. This vision has not only captured the imagination of many, but has also generated a series of interpretations and preparations among those who believe in the imminence of these events. The 3 days of darkness have been described as a time of purification and reflection, a time when humanity will be called to turn to faith and prayer. The recommendation to use beeswax candles, blessed in a special way, is seen as a measure of protection and hope in the midst of the darkness that will befall the world. Padre Pio's prophecy, like many others in his lifetime, was received with a mixture of awe and reverence, fueling the interest and devotion of those seeking to understand the mysteries of faith and spirituality that he represented. Even decades after his death, these predictions continue to resonate deeply, influencing the religious practice and spirituality of many devotees around the globe. Padre Pio warned that all opponents of the Church would face their fate during this dark period, evoking the memory of the 10 biblical plagues that brought darkness to Egypt. He gave clear instructions on how people should prepare for these days of trial. Padre Pio advised everyone to cover the windows of their homes, indulge in fervent rosary prayer, and devote themselves to reading spiritual books. In addition, he emphasized the importance of seeking spiritual communion and cultivating love in the heart. He also advised that no one should leave the house during these days, recommending that people stock up on food to cope with the natural disturbances he predicted, such as violent storms. The horrors he described included hurricanes, firestorms, severe weather, lightning, and earthquakes that would shake the earth for 2 days, followed by a continuous rain of fire on an extremely cold night. Padre Pio assured that those who kept their faith would be protected, especially if they sought the protection of the Virgin Mary. He stressed the need for trust and devotion during these times of tribulation, stating that faith would be the key to safety. For devotees, following these guidelines meant not only physical preparation, but also a spiritual strengthening that would help them face the imminent challenges. Padre Pio's message about the 3 days of darkness remains a point of reflection and preparation for many of the faithful, inspiring deep devotion and a renewed commitment to spirituality and divine protection. The signs that the 3 days of darkness are approaching serve as a clear warning that it is time to prepare properly. Padre Pio recommended that people stock up on food, clothing, water, and other essentials to survive this period. While some interpret the prophecy as a literal event, others see it symbolically. However, it is widely accepted that we are living in times of great disobedience to God's laws, which could lead to an era of corruption and destruction. Given this perspective, it is prudent to be prepared. Padre Pio provided specific guidelines for preparing for these catastrophic events. He advised people to watch out for certain signs, such as extremely cold nights, strong winds, and storms with lots of lightning. When these signs manifest themselves, people should lock all doors and windows, ensuring that there is no communication with the outside world. During these moments of darkness, Padre Pio recommended that everyone kneel before a crucifix, seeking forgiveness for their sins and protection from the Virgin Mary. Prayer and penance are seen as essential ways of strengthening oneself spiritually and guaranteeing divine security. Preparing for the 3 days of darkness is not just a matter of stocking up on physical supplies, but also of strengthening one's faith and spirituality. Padre Pio believed that by following this advice, the faithful could find protection and hope in the midst of chaos. This advice has resonated throughout the years, inspiring many to live a life of greater devotion and spiritual vigilance. Padre Pio's message continues to be a call to reflection and preparation, encouraging people to be ready for any eventuality, both on a physical and spiritual level. Thus, his guidance serves as a constant reminder of the importance of maintaining faith and hope, even in the face of the darkest adversity. Padre Pio warned that during the earthquake, people should not look away, as God's wrath must be taken seriously. He warned about the spread of poisonous gases by the wind, emphasizing that those who disregard these warnings could face instant death. However, he also comforted the faithful, stating that those who suffer and die innocently will be considered martyrs and will join God in his heavenly kingdom. Padre Pio announced that Satan would triumph for a brief period, but after 3 nights of earthquake and fire, the sun would shine again and angels would descend from heaven to bring peace to earth. This moment would mark the end of the chaos and the beginning of a new era of serenity. He described that the survivors of this period will feel enormous gratitude, not only for having survived, but also for having witnessed the renewal of peace and divine order. Padre Pio's advice on how to prepare and behave during these events is detailed and specific. He emphasized the importance of maintaining calm and faith, avoiding looking outwards, and focusing on prayer and spiritual protection. The recommendation not to open doors or windows and to seek refuge in prayer before a crucifix is a reflection of his deep faith and understanding of times of tribulation. Padre Pio also spoke about Satan's brief victory, which would be followed by divine intervention. After 3 nights of darkness, earthquakes, and fire, the sun would rise again and angels would descend from heaven, bringing renewed peace to earth. This event would be a sign of God's mercy and power, restoring order and hope among the faithful. The survivors of these events, according to Padre Pio, will experience profound gratitude. They will not only be grateful for their preserved lives, but also for having witnessed the manifestation of divine power and the renewal of heavenly peace. Padre Pio's words continue to inspire and guide the faithful, reminding them of the importance of remaining firm in their faith and prepared for any adversity, always trusting in God's protection and mercy. In addition to carrying the stigmata, Padre Pio is widely known for his mystical experiences and supernatural visions. He often recounted encounters with heavenly figures, such as Jesus, Mary, and various saints, who gave him profound messages of faith and spiritual guidance. These visions not only strengthened his own faith, but also served as an inexhaustible source of inspiration for his followers, who saw these experiences as a reflection of the divine presence in his life. Padre Pio was also famous for his extraordinary abilities, including bilocation, the ability to be simultaneously in two different places. This mystical faculty allowed him to comfort the faithful and carry out spiritual missions in distant places without leaving his cell in the convent. He also possessed the gift of reading souls, an ability that allowed him to discern the sins and spiritual needs of the people who came to him for confession. This gift was a testimony to his deep connection with the divine and his ability to guide others on their spiritual journeys. Padre Pio's impact and spiritual legacy go far beyond his prophecies and miracles. His example of life, characterized by humility, devotion, and sacrifice, has become an inexhaustible source of inspiration for millions of believers around the world. The way he lived his faith, facing challenges and adversity with unshakable peace and total dedication to God, continues to influence and strengthen the spirituality of many. His followers are often touched by his message of love, forgiveness, and total surrender to God's will, finding in his example a model of authentic and profound Christian living. The stories of his mystical experiences, the accounts of his visions, and the miracles he witnessed remain alive in the collective memory of the faithful, perpetuating his spiritual legacy and strengthening the faith of many in times of difficulty. Padre Pio's example is a constant invitation to reflect on the depth of spirituality and true faith, inspiring believers to live with the same intensity and dedication that he demonstrated throughout his life. Padre Pio's work at the Casa Sollievo della Sofferenza Hospital is a lasting testimony to his commitment to charity and the care of the sick. Founded by him, this hospital continues to provide high-quality medical services, reflecting his dedication to relieving human suffering. This living legacy is a tangible expression of his deep compassion and desire to serve those in need, and is one of the many ways in which his influence endures. Throughout his life, Padre Pio also faced controversy and skepticism. His claims of possessing stigmata and other supernatural phenomena attracted attention and suspicion, leading to several rigorous investigations by the Church and other groups. These investigations, in some cases, resulted in periods of severe restrictions imposed on him, during which he was prevented from celebrating Mass publicly or hearing confessions. These moments of scrutiny and distrust represented significant challenges in his spiritual and priestly life. Despite the controversies and restrictions imposed, many of his followers remained unwavering in their belief in Padre Pio's holiness. The faith he inspired in people's hearts was so profound that his mystical experiences continued to be revered and celebrated. His followers saw in him not just a priest, but a true channel of divine grace, whose visions and supernatural gifts were tangible signs of a life lived in intense communion with God. Padre Pio, with his humility and perseverance, navigated these periods of controversy without losing his devotion or his purpose. His ability to keep the faith in the face of investigations and doubts served to strengthen the faith of many who followed him. They saw in him an example of spiritual resilience and unwavering trust in divine providence. Today, the figure of Padre Pio continues to be a source of inspiration and devotion for millions of people around the world. The hospital he founded, his messages of faith, and the countless accounts of his mystical experiences and miracles remain alive in the collective memory of the faithful. His life, marked by spiritual challenges and achievements, continues to teach and inspire, highlighting the importance of charity, faith, and perseverance. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is one of the best known associated with Padre Pio. According to him, there will be a period of total darkness enveloping the whole earth, during which the only means of illumination will be through specially blessed beeswax candles. This apocalyptic vision warns of a time of great tribulation, when those who are not spiritually prepared could face immense and frightening challenges. Padre Pio emphasized the importance of being spiritually ready for this event. He warned that during these dark days, Correct behavior and solid faith would be crucial for survival and protection. Those who remained steadfast in prayer and trust in God would find the strength to get through this difficult period. This prophecy is not unique in the context of private revelations within the Catholic tradition. It echoes other visions and prophetic messages that have been reported over the centuries, often compared to the plagues of Egypt described in the Old Testament. The narrative of the biblical plagues, where darkness was one of the punishments sent by God, serves as a symbolic backdrop for understanding the depth and seriousness of Padre Pio's prophecy. The symbolism of the 3 days of darkness can also be seen as a call to conversion and penance. Darkness represents not only a physical phenomenon, but also a metaphor for the need for spiritual clarity and purification. For believers, it is a powerful reminder that the light of faith and virtue can shine even in the darkest times. Padre Pio's message about the 3 days of darkness continues to resonate among the faithful, reminding them of the importance of a life of prayer, spiritual preparation, and trust in divine protection. This prophecy, like many others associated with him, reinforces the need to live in line with the teachings of the faith, prepared to face any challenges with courage and hope. Although the prophecy of the 3 days of darkness is not an official doctrine of the Catholic Church, it remains a significant point of reflection and preparation for many devout Catholics. The prediction, although not formally recognized by the Church, resonates deeply with those who see in Padre Pio's words an urgent call to conversion and spiritual empowerment. Meaning and interpretation of the prophecies. Padre Pio's prophecies, including that of the 3 days of darkness, are widely interpreted as a call for a renewal of faith and spiritual preparation. For many, these visions are a constant reminder of the need to maintain a firm and unshakable faith, especially in times of trial and uncertainty. They encourage the faithful to seek reconciliation with God, to practice fervent prayer, and to be prepared to face future events that may challenge humanity. These prophecies act as a warning to believers not to get carried away by the distractions of the modern world, but to focus on living a life of virtue and devotion. The underlying message is clear. Spiritual preparation is crucial in order to be ready for any adversity that may arise. The prophesied darkness symbolizes not only a physical event, but also a spiritual state that demands light and inner clarity. For Padre Pio's followers, these prophecies are a continuous source of inspiration and a guide to a deeper life of faith. They reinforce the importance of being in communion with God, practicing acts of charity, and constantly seeking truth and inner peace. The prophecy of the 3 days of darkness, in particular, serves as a powerful reminder of the fragility of human life and the need to be ever vigilant and spiritually prepared. Although not officially sanctioned, these predictions continue to influence the spirituality of many Catholics, encouraging them to live according to the principles of their faith and to always be ready for any challenge that life may present. In this way, Padre Pio's message transcends time and remains relevant, instigating a continuous effort of conversion and spiritual preparation among the faithful. Padre Pio always emphasized the importance of prayer, penance, and the sacrament of confession as fundamental for spiritual strengthening. His teachings on the need for a life of devotion and moral rectitude continue to have a profound impact on the faithful, encouraging them to seek a life of greater spirituality and integrity. He promoted a constant practice of prayer and sacrifice as essential means of achieving a deeper connection with God. Padre Pio's messages remain relevant and inspiring, encouraging not only the practice of personal devotion, but also participation in pilgrimages and acts of faith. The shrine of San Giovanni Rotondo, where Padre Pio lived for most of his life, is a lasting testimony to his spiritual influence. This sacred site continues to attract faithful from all over the world, who visit the shrine to pay homage, seek miracles, and experience a spiritual connection with the saint. At the shrine, Padre Pio's relics, including his vestments and personal effects, are venerated with great reverence. Many visitors report having received graces and miraculous cures through his intercession, which reinforces the continuing relevance and spiritual impact of his life and work. Padre Pio remains a central figure in contemporary Catholic spirituality. His life and teachings are a source of inspiration for new generations of believers who find in the example of his devotion and commitment valuable guidance for their own spiritual journeys. Padre Pio's legacy continues to inspire and guide those who seek a deeper faith and a more intimate connection with the divine. Dear brothers and sisters, we thank you deeply for being with us until the end of this video. Now, I invite each of you to join me in a special prayer, asking for Padre Pio's blessing and intercession for us all. Let's lift up our hearts in prayer. Prayer to Padre Pio. O beloved Padre Pio, faithful servant of God and powerful intercessor, we turn to you at this time with hearts full of faith and hope. On our spiritual journey, we seek your intercession before the Lord, asking that our lives be graced with peace, health, and divine protection. Grant us, O Holy One, the strength to face adversity with courage and perseverance. Enlighten us with the wisdom to make just and right decisions in every aspect of our lives. May your grace help us to remain firm in our faith, despite the challenges we may face. May your example of humility and devotion inspire our hearts to love and serve God with total dedication. We ask your intercession for all our intentions, especially for our brothers and sisters who are watching this video. May your blessings be poured out on each of them, bringing comfort, healing, and renewed hope. In every prayer and thought, may we feel your protective and encouraging presence. We thank you for your continued help and for the example of life you provide. Amen. If this message has touched your heart and you want to continue receiving content that inspires and strengthens faith, don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your interaction is fundamental for us, as it helps us to expand the message of faith and love that we receive from Our Lady and Padre Pio, thus reaching more people who can benefit from these teachings. Subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell to stay up to date with our future videos and updates. Every gesture you make helps us to continue offering content that promotes spirituality and well-being. May God and Our Lady shower abundant blessings on your life, guiding your steps and strengthening your faith. We sincerely thank you for your participation and continued support.